just before the dawn. On my way, on my way, on my way.
Good morning, ladies. How are you this morning? I see Julie, Carol, Missy, and Linda all on the chat this morning. Happy Saturday. Grab a cup of coffee, ladies, if you don't have one already, and kick back, relax, and enjoy Wake Up with Witcher on this Saturday edition. As we've been talking about all week, we've got some mid to high level clouds. Have you stepped outside? Julie, have you seen the sunrise this morning? You might have a good view up there in Whitesburg. It's going to be amazing for some of us. I'll show you some weather cameras coming up here in just a second. But that is going to bring us some filtered sunshine, or rather an overcast day, thanks to some mid to high level clouds. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment. First things first, let's talk about yesterday. I always like to recap yesterday in the morning show to see how we fared. Was the forecast right? Was the forecast wrong? What were we doing? Well, yesterday I was forecasting 74. We hit 75. We didn't pick up any rainfall yesterday. Actually, yesterday turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day. So much so, I wanted to share an awesome time lapse for you, or with you anyways. And this time lapse is coming in from, how about this? This is going to be Anderson County. So this is downtown Clinton. We had some morning fog, but then we had some sunshine. Then the clouds started to work their way back into the area for a little bit anyways, before that dry air set up shop and started to roll on in, and that helped to clear our skies, give us those cotton ball clouds. And then those clouds moved on in. You can see some high-level clouds as the sun set, and it gave us a nice sunset yesterday evening. So not too terribly bad around East Tennessee. Turned out to be great. That drier air settled its way on in. Isn't that so nice? Hopefully you had a chance to enjoy a little bit of that dry air yesterday evening. Now this morning, not bad, actually kind of on the chilly side in some locations, i.e. Upper East Tennessee, where temperatures are in the 40s, and I'll highlight that. But those high clouds will continue to filter on in throughout the day today, thanks to an upper level low that's going to continue to spin our way. It's a slow process, but the first things first is the high level clouds. And you can see that with our radar recap. The majority of the moisture is down across the Gulf Coast states. Eventually, that's going to throw a little bit of energy our way, but we're going to have to saturate the atmosphere from top to bottom. And it's going to take a while because the atmosphere is dry in the low levels. But as it does so, we may see a little bit of light rain south of Interstate 40, which is really what we've been talking about all week long. All right, so today, mid to high level clouds, light rain south of 40. It's not going to add up to a whole lot. I'll explain. Mother's Day, we're going to walk you through that forecast. Keep it local. Chance for showers, maybe a few isolated afternoon thunderstorms. We've got a little bit more heat. We've got a little bit more humidity that's going to be building its way into the area, so that could lead to a couple of afternoon thunderstorms if we get a little disturbance coming in and around that low-pressure system. Something to kind of keep in mind. But it's not going to be a washout. And then Monday through Wednesday, it looks like another rainy weather pattern is going to set up shop as that upper-level low finally starts to scoot its way on out. All right, remember how I always say that clouds at nighttime act like a nice little blanket? You know, when you crawl into bed at night, you put that blanket on top of you, you're like, oh, this feels great, right? Especially if your house is chilly due to the air conditioning. Well, that's kind of what's taking place this morning. Not kind of, that is what's taking place this morning. Can you tell where we've had the clouds and where we haven't had the clouds? Yeah, right along the Tennessee-Kentucky border, Upper East Tennessee. Tri-Cities right now only at 41 degrees. What a chilly start there, but Chattanooga's 20 degrees warmer at 61 thanks to the cloud coverage. North of Interstate 40 and along the I-81 corridor, temperatures are chillier this morning than yesterday. South of Interstate 40 down the I-75 corridor, temperatures are trending a little bit warmer. Tri-Cities actually is 13 degrees colder this morning than yesterday. Wow. All right, so here's your future cast. You can see how the clouds are going to continue to creep on in. Notice our future cast is picking up on a little bit of rain showers around the area. Those rain showers are not necessarily going to make its way to the surface for most of us. I think we'll start to saturate the column of the air up from top to bottom, closer to, say, Bradley County, Sequatchie, all the way into Polk County, if you're joining us from Polk County. I know I have somebody that joins me from Polk County every day. Anyway, so not expecting a whole lot of activity. We should see more filtered sunshine along the Tennessee-Kentucky border, more cloud coverage south of Interstate 40, giving us the mostly cloudy skies. But you can clearly see the rain's not going to add up to a whole lot. However, we could see maybe upwards of a quarter of an inch of rain towards the Whitwell and Chattanooga area, but north of that, likely not to see as much. We'll just see how this all plays out. How far north does that go? How soon does the atmosphere saturate from top to bottom? It can happen if you get a good little dosing of moisture aloft. We could actually see a little bit more rain, maybe towards Sweetwater, Athens, Dayton, Spring City. Again, this is just a model forecast, so take it with a grain of salt. Thanks, Julie. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. So temperatures today. So you know how we're starting colder in Tri-Cities and warmer in the Southern Valley? Well, we're going to flip-flop that. Remember, clouds at nighttime act like a nice little blanket, keeps us warmer. Clouds during the daytime doesn't allow for as much daytime heating. So we're going to reverse everything. It's going to be cooler south of Interstate 40 and warmer north of Interstate 40. We saw that just the other day when we had the cloud coverage. So Tri-Cities, while you're in the 40s now, you're going to climb into the mid-70s. Chattanooga, while you're in the 60s now, well, you're not going to warm up, but maybe about 10 degrees throughout the day. And we'll kind of cut that in the middle in and around parts of Loudoun County, Roane, and Anderson, as well as Jefferson and Granger County. All right. So now let's pick up our futurecast tonight. Let's head into our Mother's Day. And by the way, happy Mother's Day weekend to all you moms. Have a great one. Maybe a couple of spotty light showers. Not expecting a whole lot of activity as we get into our Sunday morning. So if you're heading off to church, you have outdoor plans, it's going to be relatively on the drier side. Good morning, Judy. How are you this morning? I've got Patrick and Ruth and Brian joining us as well. All right, so morning lows, because most of us will have the clouds in place tomorrow morning, we're going to be a little bit warmer. Plus, dew points come up. Remember, dew points is the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. The higher the moisture, the higher our morning lows will be. So Sunday, we're at 69. We're going to be in the mid to upper 70s for your Mother's Day. That's great. It's going to be warm. It's going to be a little bit muggier, so it's going to have a warmer feel to the air. Now, we are staying mostly cloudy, but notice that there's a chance for some showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder because we got a little bit more instability in the atmosphere. So here we go. Should be dry to start our Sunday morning. Again, maybe a few wet roads if you had rain late tonight. Then as we progress through the day, again, some showers and maybe a few afternoon thunderstorms. I don't think it's going to add up to a whole lot for most of us. When you look at your rainfall forecast from now through Sunday evening, again, spotty in nature. As we heat up the atmosphere, a little bit more of a summertime pattern on Sunday, then the low starts to kick our way and our rain chances elevate. So we're going to see those rain chances increasing. Today, I've got a whopping 10%, right? For generally speaking, 30% overnight tonight, 40% tomorrow. Again, that never tells you the whole story, so you always got to watch for the rest of the story. I'm pretty much 100% chance of rain, probably Monday and Tuesday time frame-ish at some point of the game, but we'll keep it at 80 now. We'll drop those rain chances Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then as we get into Thursday, Friday, well, the heat's going to start to build. So your Friday forecast, 30%, but that could be afternoon thunderstorms as a cold front approaches. And actually, that 30% probably is going to be higher than that. As we get closer to day number 7, I'll adjust the percentages. But here's the story for Sunday night. So again, Sunday, not going to see a whole lot of activity, but watch this. Sunday night into Monday, the low is just still lingering to our south and southwest. Starts to kick its way a little bit north and northwest, so kind of retrograding, if you will, thanks to high pressure shifting to the mid-Atlantic. So as high pressure shifts to the mid-Atlantic, that's going to push the low-pressure system. It's called retrograding from east to west because most of our storms come from west to east, right? So it's called retrograding, moving the opposite direction. There's Monday night. You can see the rainfall around East Tennessee, so could see some good solid showers Monday night. So from now through Monday night, now you can see how the rainfall is going to increase around East Tennessee, and heaviest rain is going to be a little bit further to our south down into the Gulf Coast states. Now, as we continue our forecast, remember that low has pushed its way westward. So let's pick up our mid-level spin and energy. There's our upper-level low that's just kind of been lingering. Remember, upper-level low is a weatherman's woe. They're hard to forecast. But here we go. It finally should kick on out of here as we get into our Monday and Tuesday. And as it comes on through, that's what's going to bring us the rain showers Monday, Tuesday. So if you're planning, plan indoor activities Monday, Tuesday. But notice that ridging back off to our west. See how those white lines push north like a little wave? That's a ridge, and that's a ridge of high pressure. That's going to build in as we get through our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday, and that's going to help to boost our temperature. So let's talk rainfall for a second before we get to your 7-day through Wednesday. Maybe about an inch of rain here around East Tennessee, and then as you add into our Thursday and Friday, as more storms start to fire up, we could add a little bit more, maybe inch to and a half. But I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we may have a little bit more rain next week. Dew points, this is important to know because obviously temperatures I just showed you are going to be in the, we're going to highlight your 7-day, but temps will be in the low to mid 70s all the way through Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, we're going to see a big bump because of that ridge. But look at our dew points, upper 60s to low 70s. That's going to bring us an incredibly warm summertime feel to the atmosphere. More of a July pattern, really, if you will, because when you're talking highs in the upper 80s, dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s, that's muggy. And that's what's going to lead to afternoon showers and thunderstorms, plus a cold front looks to slide through Friday into Saturday, and that should elevate our rain chances. I know I'm, again, only going 30% Friday and Saturday right now, but as we get closer to the weekend, next weekend, we'll highlight that in more detail. So we'll go 74 today, mostly dry conditions, 40% chance for a few afternoon showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder on Mother's Day. Not a total washout, but watch out for those showers and thunderstorms. And track it with the East Tennessee Weather app. By the way, if you're on Facebook, you can scan that QR code if you're on your computer, use your phone. Otherwise, you can just log on to easttnweather.com, download the app, and we'll help you really stay on top of any storms that may fire up on Mother's Day. And you'll be able to track the rain Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and storms in the forecast every day. All right, I don't know why I went right along. That's not what I meant to do. All right, here we go. Let's say hi to everybody. Let's see what everyone is saying. All right, so we've got good morning, everyone. It's going to be a beautiful day. Well, not sunny, but hey, listen, it's a Saturday, so it's going to be a gorgeous day, right? Come shop at Oak Ridge Flea Market, says Ruth, at the high school parking lot. A lot of vendors. So if you're looking for something to do, maybe you're out and about and grabbing lunch, go check that out. What are the times on that, Ruth? If you want to put the times in there, that would be great. I saw that this morning, Brian. I saw that this morning. All right, let's see. We got Lee on here. Let's see. Better late. Lee, always better late than never, just to see your smiling face. Tell your wife I said hi, by the way. Good morning, Vera. Am I freezing up again this morning? Well, here we are. I haven't heard that take place, but whatever. Anyways, I apologize. Facebook picture is now buffering. Well, here we are. Just have to deal with what we got, I guess. You didn't even think to check the app. Well, there you go. The app's going to be your one-stop shop, Joanne. It's amazing. Everything you need to know. You're headed to Panama City tomorrow for vacation. Nice. You're going to be running right into the rain. But the good news is, Katrina, hopefully by the time you get down there, the rain's going to be moving its way northward, so you won't have to deal with this batch of rain for too terribly long. But it is going to be a rainy drive. Well, the live's working on the app. I guess I'm freezing up on Facebook this morning. Good old Facebook. Oh, we're just going to have to move right along, shall we? Strawberry Festival in Dayton today starts at noon. I'm guessing it starts at noon. Otto? Okay, so the over at the high school in Oak Ridge starts now and runs until 12:30 if you're looking for something to do. All right, let's get to work with those national holidays. Hey, by the way, we've got a lot of national holidays to share with you this morning. So let's go ahead and get to work with that, shall we? All right, we're celebrating birthdays and events, of course. Always celebrating those birthdays and events. And I apologize if I'm freezing up on Facebook. There's nothing I can do about that. All right, birthdays and events. Well, Felicia says the festival is today, by the way, in South Knoxville from 11 to 5 if you're looking for something to do. She's going to be at the Tea and Treasures. Tomorrow is Jazz in the Park at Imes Nature Center from 4 to 8 if you're looking for something to do for Mom on Mother's Day. It's National Want to Have a Catch Day. Guess I'm going to have to go out and play baseball with my kids. Go do a little bit of catching the baseball in the backyard or the front yard. They play baseball. They ask to play throw the ball all the time. All the time. But it's going to be a great day to do so. All right, it's National Washington Day. Are you from Washington State? Do you celebrate your own state? It's National Dog Moms Day. Yay! My dog's mom is sleeping right now. Our dog's mom is sleeping. Well, she may be getting up and going to work. She's got to work today, unfortunately. It's National Clean Up Your Room Day. This is a great thing. All right, let's give a big shout out to that. I know. Hold on a second. All right, fine. We'll do that instead. Listen, I get it, right? Nobody wants to clean up their room, but when you have a clean bedroom, it feels so good, doesn't it? Sometimes our bedrooms just become dumping grounds because we clean up the house when people come over and just throw it in our bedrooms, right? At least that's the way it works at our house. My kids are cleaning up their bedrooms today because I talked to my kid yesterday and I was like, hey, listen, clean up your room, dude. And he's like, it is clean. I go, your room is not clean. Trust me. So that's what we're going to be doing today. It's National Lipid Day. Do you ever get your lipids checked? National Archery Day. Here's a little side note. I always try to give you a little information about who I am as a person. But one thing I've always wanted growing up, I was in Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout. One thing I've always wanted, I shot guns my entire life and this, that, and the other. I always wanted a bow and arrow. I always wanted an archery set. And I always had the dream of going small game hunting with the bow and arrow. Sounds incredibly hard, and it probably is. My dad took me duck hunting one time, and that's the only time I've ever been hunting. I was like, I'm good. It wasn't the fact that I was killing something. It was just the fact that it wasn't fun. It was boring. Listen, I don't have ADD, but I like to stay active. And sitting there in the blind waiting for ducks to fly over just is not fun. And walking and traipsing the forest looking for a small rabbit with a bow and arrow doesn't sound fun anymore. It did at the time. Anyways, all right, and I never got a bow and arrow, by the way. Never got one. I'm a deprived child. Never been to Disneyland or Disney World either. I'm a deprived child. I'm not. I had a great childhood. All right, National Miniature Golf Day. All right, let's give a big shout out to that. Got some great miniature golf courses here in East Tennessee, whether it be from Sevier County to anywhere. Do you have a favorite miniature golf course around your area? Do you like miniature golf? It's fun, but I don't know. It's not as fun as it used to be, I think, when I was a little kid. Still fun, though, and I still like to take my kids there. It's National Babysitters Day. A big shout out to all the babysitters. What would we do without you for all of us moms and dads? We wouldn't be able to go on date night. And it's interesting, too, when you think about it. I think about over the years, all the nannies and babysitters that we've had for our kids over the years. Because of the shift that both my wife and I have had and currently have, but at least I work from home now. My kids are older. But you put your what is some of your most precious cargo into sometimes a stranger's hands. And you walk away saying, I hope everything's okay when I get home. So big shout out to all you awesome babysitters this morning. I think some of our first jobs likely was babysitting, wasn't it? Happy birthday to your grandson, Eva. Izzy turned 16 today. My niece turned 21 the other day. Crazy to see her turn 21. It's National Birth Mother's Day. All right. Not quite sure. Saturday. Oh, okay. Well, it said Saturday before Mother's Day. It's Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive Day. Are there any food drives going on today? I got something in my eye, by the way. Are there any food drives going on today? Well, if not, maybe if you have some donations, you could take it to a food pantry for a food drive for Stamp Out Hunger Food Drive Day. And it's National Shrimp Day. I love shrimp. I love it all different kinds of ways. From shrimp cocktail to boiled shrimp with some good old Creole in there to, let's see, shrimp scampi. Shrimp on the bobby. That was terrible. Don't let me do that again. I love shrimp and tacos. You can make shrimp can just be about anything, and it's so good. Oh, my gosh. All right, that's your national holidays for the day today. Let's go ahead and take you back outside. We'll show you what it looks like in downtown Gatlinburg. How about that? That sounds like a good one. There we go. That's what it looks like in downtown Gatlinburg here at this hour. And again, you can kind of see those high-level clouds hanging out with us. A few jet contrails. Those clouds will thicken up a little bit. We'll call it some filtered sunshine. I always say filtered sunshine, it's like, taking some like wax paper. Some like wax paper and going outside on a bright sunny day and putting it over. That's the kind of filtered sunshine I think many of us will have. If not just plain overcast, especially south of Interstate 40, north of Interstate 40, more jet contrails, a little bit more of a filtered sunshine feel to the air. Good morning, Christy. How are you this morning? Ooh, there you go. Now you're talking, right? Right, Katrina? So good. I love shrimp. Yum. I had shrimp on Thursday. I had shrimp the other day, too. We actually went to a restaurant called Taco Boy in West Knoxville. Great food, by the way. Good margaritas. And they have a great thing that's, I had like, it was called, oh, shoot. I don't want to say po' boy. It's not that. Oh boy or something like that. Anyways, it was chicken, shrimp, and chorizo with some Mexican rice and some beans. And it was amazing, by the way. Let's see. Good morning, Miranda. How are you this morning? Had shrimp hibachi last night. Ooh, now you're making me hungry. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Not time to eat yet, is it? My kids and wife will be getting up here in just a few minutes. Anyways, good morning, Vera. How are you this morning? All right. So again, just expect some filtered sunshine. Listen, if you're joining on the app and, whoops, I already showed you that. I already showed you that. Let's move right along. But that was a cool time lapse. Try to relaunch some of those cameras. I know I got reports that some of the cameras are down again on the app itself, so I'll get those launched back up here shortly. Remember to check in with the East Tennessee Weather app from time to time. We do have a chance for some, maybe a little bit of light rain, a couple of sprinkles across the Southern Valley, maybe even a few sprinkles in Chattanooga near now, but probably not a whole lot of activity. A few more showers, a couple of thunderstorms on Mother's Day. Wet weather returns as we get into our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think I forgot to. We're going to have to re-rack this music here in a little bit. Just going to let that play in the background. But I think Julie said something about the East Tennessee Weather app and Witcher's Pictures. And I don't see a rainbow that you posted. But we've had some great views. And I think I've shown most of those over the last couple of days. All right, no new Witcher's Pictures that are showing up on my end anyways. It's Saturday, my friends. Go make some breakfast. Have a cup of coffee. Kick back, relax, and enjoy your day. Is it going to be a lazy day? Is it going to be a productive day? The Witcher household is going to be productive. Maybe after I take a nap. All right, my friends, have a great day. Be safe, be kind to each other. We will be broadcasting live on Mother's Day morning. Check in to see how those afternoon thunderstorms may be playing out as some of the newest model data comes on. All right, be safe, be kind to each other. Life is short, and if you're joining on the app, I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel. You'll get the forecast immediately. So if you joined us late and you missed the forecast for the weekend, I'll send you right there. All right, my friends, have a great day.